Well, good evening to you, and welcome to Chess and Wine with AD Bila. And I just figured that today's episode should be probably just about introducing myself to you because I figured that a whole lot of people, okay, this is a new space that we're venturing into, right? So a lot of people in this now audio-visual space don't really have the background of ADB, Lawal on Facebook, AD Chess, and so obviously that speaks of my passion for chess. But you don't know where it comes from, so I thought the best way to proceed is to go backwards. Let's go back to where it started. Obviously, I was introduced to chess by a few people I encountered along the way, along this life. But surprisingly to many people is that I only learned how to play chess when I was at the age of 24, if not 25. So I was already older. A lot of people were surprised by that fact. So I only got introduced to chess when I was at university, right? So I know a whole lot of people that have known chess or have played chess almost all their lives, but obviously I have shown that I could have more. I probably do have more of an understanding of the game more than them, but you'll understand where all that comes from when I tell you a bit about it. But then, it'll give you an idea of why my burning passion was so effective because it came at the right time. So, yes, the year was 2008, I think, when I was first introduced. I met this girl. She was my classmate for English class at university. I went to the University of Johannesburg, and that is where I met Samantha Brief, smart girl, brilliant, and we sort of clicked and we started talking about many things. And she was surprised when she found out I didn't know how to play chess. This one time when she brought a chessboard and asked me to play, I'm like, I don't know how to play this. I'm not interested. And she was like, "What? You don't know how to play chess?" I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I do not." She's like, "I can teach you." I'm like, I don't want to learn. It looks tough. It looks difficult, and I'm not interested in it because obviously there's that thing where you feel like your shortcomings will be exposed when you try to learn something as challenging as chess, and someone obviously knows better than you, and they're showing that they know better than you, and they're telling you that this is a mind game, it's for smart people, and you exposing how not so smart, not up there you are. I mean, like, you think you first year, second year university, and you've sort of felt like you've proven yourself in every way that you are capable. Yeah, but now this is another mental test that someone is putting forward, and obviously they you see it as a challenge. I saw it as a challenge. I shouldn't have seen it as a challenge. But later, obviously, as you can see that I'm here now, I did wise up and decided, well, it's something new to pick up. You're at university. You're in life. You are here to learn, pick up new things, grow from it. And I encountered this a lot with a whole lot of people, grown-ups especially. When you try to introduce chess to them at this, whether they are in the 20s, 30s, or even 40s. I mean, I've encountered some 50-year-olds as well who wanted to learn chess because they've always wanted to learn the game for their whole lives, but never had someone to teach them. The one thing that holds them back is that fear of not understanding. Is it coming across fine? Is it coming across all right? I don't know. That fear of appearing as a slow learner, because obviously people believe that chess is very difficult. But I keep saying this to people. It is not. Chess is not a difficult game. It's not difficult to understand. It's just very difficult to master. Anyone can learn it. And that's why I wrote this small, tiny manual. Obviously, with book with the basics of chess, like what will teach you how to play, master the basics. That's what you need to get up. That's what you need to improve. Understand that. So yes. So I went on. I allowed Samantha to teach me, and she was patient with me as we started. Taught me the moves, taught me the pieces, the rook, the knight, the bishop, and obviously we come to the king and the queen. This is not a chess lesson, so I'm not going to be teaching you how to play chess right now, but I'm just bringing it in. Obviously, we started, I learned, then we started having our games. It became interesting because the more you understand what you're doing, the more chess becomes interesting and more exciting. And it's just so drawn into it, because you just kind of feel like you feel your brain coming alive, like in a way that you do feel your brain coming alive when you're studying and figuring out some philosophical ideas. Because obviously I was a philosophy student at the time. I was doing my BA in humanities. So the same way that philosophy would excite me, chess would do the same as well. And that excitement kind of stayed with me. Like every time I see a chessboard, I felt alive. I'd want to play. I'd want to bring it on. Let's play. I mean, she got tired of beating me, obviously, because when you are teaching a person and you know so much, so many tricks, so many ways of winning, so many strategies and all forms of tactics, it's easier for you to win quicker, especially when playing against a beginner. But you get tired of it, and she got tired of it. So she taught me what she could. Whenever she had the time, she would obviously allow for us to play. We'd play. She'd beat me, but I would be happy that at least I got to beat one or two, to capture one or two of her pieces. Happy that I saw the checkmate coming. Happy that I saw some of her checkmates and I was able to stop them until the final blow. And obviously, yeah. And then later on, I realized that no, she doesn't enjoy playing me anymore. And I figured, all right, I'll walk around carrying a chessboard. So whenever I come across a person who knows how to play chess, I ask them to play, because the feeling, the excitement, hey, you have no idea. If you don't know how to play chess, you won't understand. But just learn it, and you'll understand what I'm talking about. Just give yourself the time and learn the basics of the game. You'll understand what I'm talking about. Fast forward, year 2009, I think, or 10. 2009, I think, yes. No. It was 2010 when I met Tapelo Pe, for, again, one of the guys who was living in the same dormitory I was in. So I go to his room to ask for sugar, I think. And I see that he has a chessboard on top of his wardrobe. And I'm like, what? You have a chessboard? He's like, yeah. I'm like, you know how to play this? He's like, why would I have it if I don't know how to play it? I'm like, okay, no, bro, like, bring it down. Let's have a game. Forget the sugar. We put the chessboard down. We set it up. We play a game. And he's like, okay, so you know how to play. I'm like, yeah, I know. Okay, cool. He plays some quick moves and he finishes me. I'm like, okay. Wow. All right. I didn't expect that. So you're very good. Let's play another one. We play, quick. I stopped that in that first checkmate, so it's delayed by 1 or 2 moves, but he still wins. I'm like, okay, all right, now you are very good. I didn't think that, but yeah, I didn't expect that. So we play some more games, and it's like, no, bro, I'm tired. I was trying to study. That's like 10 games in, and I'm still 10-0. Score is 10-0, and I'm still trying to have some more games with the guy, but he sees that you won't have anything new to show me. So I'm basically teaching you how to play. I'm like, okay, but that's fine. So we can play again tomorrow. Yes, we come back tomorrow. Same thing. Guy beats me. It goes on and on until at a point where we both get tired of playing each other. And we're like, how about we find other people who can play the game and we get them together? And that was the idea that brought about the South Point Chess Club. So Tapel and I haven't had this idea. We obviously started contacting because I walk around literally carrying a chessboard, and every time I come across a person, anyone, I'd ask you, first thing before we start talking, do you know how to play chess? And if you say yes, I'm like, how about a game? Pull out the chessboard, set up the pieces, let's have a game. And the thing about chess is that everyone that beats you will leave you with a lesson. You know, they always say, you never lose, you learn. It's always true in chess. So everybody would, every time somebody beats you in the game of chess, they leave you with a lesson. They tell you where you went wrong. They will tell you, brah, you don't know the basics of the openings, man. Like, you lost the game earlier on in the opening moves. You shouldn't have played 1, 2, 3. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, how do I play it next time? No. I can't show you exactly how to play it, but you just need to understand the basics. This is what you missed. Okay, cool. Thank you. You learn that, you get better at the basics of the opening. Now, next games, or maybe next stage is you start losing games in the middle game. Now, that's the part of the game where there's so many tactics happening. The part of the game where there is already context between the two sides. This is the black side, the white side. The board is divided into 2 halves. Your half, my half. Once the pieces get to connect, once the pieces get to clash, we're now in the middle game. So that's where your tactical thinking and strategical thinking come into play, and we see what you can do and how smart you are, how quick you are at reacting, how you are able to understand and see your opponent's plans before they come to fruition. You see what they're trying to, you read your opponent's strategy, analyze the position, and so forth. So all of these things are happening in the middle game, and there are a whole lot of tactics to learn, but you also need to just somehow anticipate your opponent's plans, their ideas. You're responding to them, but you're also kind of building up your own. So, yeah, middle game, very interesting part of the game, and that's where, again, you want to learn a whole lot of things. That's why a whole lot of players don't understand the end game, because if you're going to go with this process, this step that I'm talking about, the middle game is too broad. And if you don't have a coach, obviously, you get stuck in the middle game for years. Until later on, you're able to go past the middle game and understand a whole lot that's happening in the middle game. And you get to experience the challenges of the end game then. And once you get to experience the challenges of the end game, you realize that it's also like a whole new world as well, with a whole new type of tactics and ideas that are going on. Like from the beginning, it's just an exchange of ideas. It's just too much, just so exciting. So that excitement just kept me in the game. And I remember in 2010, I decided, man, how is it that I was never introduced to this game when I was young? Because, I mean, if I was introduced to this game at an early age, I'm sure I would have been able to do a lot with it. Or I would have been even more smarter, like would have been wiser or whatever. Because, I mean, having that mental life from earlier on, who knows what it would have done. But yeah, it was still exciting. So I thought to myself, I have this responsibility now to take this game back home and not have anyone that I've come across not know how to play the game. Because at least if it's introduced to the community, then it's easier, it becomes easily accessible to the children in the community. You know what I mean? So yeah, I thought, let me just try and do that. That was in 2010, and but I still continue with the South Point Chess Club that we had started with with Tapelo Pair for, I think he's an accountant right now. So yeah, so we got into that, we did that, and we organized tournaments at in Braamfontein, within Braamfontein, the South Point student accommodation, this company with this wrestler was staying and assisted a lot. They allowed us to organize the events because they were so excited to have their residents, should I call it? It's always the students, right, who were occupying their buildings, to have them participating or partaking in something as, I don't know, man, as prestigious as chess. And they were happy to sponsor that. And that's why we were able to have more events, and we got even more and more stronger players coming in. Like that's where we got introduced, or we encountered and obviously interacted with players like Bomuzenda Solo. I think he was one of the top players at Verts at the time. We encountered players like Bo Paseka Maswangai. He was also one of the top players at Verts at the time. But yeah, we went on, and our club had practice sessions, and everyone came in with their own ideas, and we had brilliant players like Sidney Marrera. He had learned how to play chess when he was in Cape Town, but now he wasn't so big at it. When we were just bringing it back, and it just got him into it, got excited to be part of it, and we learned so much from all these people. And there were so many books being exchanged, chess books, like read this if you don't understand, if you want to understand the end game. Read this if you want to understand tactics and strategizing, strategic planning. Read this, and I gave myself the time. I dedicated some time to reading all these books. I read openings, I mastered them, I understood. Hey, and from then on, I started winning games as well. I started playing chess, not just learning from other players, and it became so exciting. So yes, that was when I decided to come back then, this side in Mpumalanga, and I was home, and I was, all right, now I want to teach people how to play chess. Who am I going to teach? Let's start with the kids. So I'm doing the same thing I was doing that side, carrying a chessboard. Like, okay, cool. You want to learn how to play chess? I could teach you. But I realized at some point or later on that this thing needed to be organized. So I started teaching kids at so-called primary school. I went there carrying my one chessboard, and the principal gave me the permission to do so. Boom. Introduce chess to the kids. They're excited. Like one chessboard, and I had like 100 kids coming in and all wanting to learn at the same time. So we were to obviously schedule some sessions, and Well, sift along the way, like kids were not so serious about learning and just happy to be, but like, yeah, things had to happen. We just had to focus on those who were driven, focus on those who were disciplined, even though, I mean, everybody deserved the chance to learn. That's why later on I had much better programs. But the initial program with that one chessboard, it it gave me players like Bo Adolf Nkosi, Bo Deacon Nkosi, Bo Lindo Utlepila, Bo Banele Mango, Bo Ban, Bo Lind. Like a whole lot of kids came up from there. They got exposed to playing chess and they went into tournaments and they won those tournaments. I also started taking part in chess tournaments, like officially rated chess tournaments. That was around 2013, 2014. And I'm like, got excited because I hadn't been part of, I hadn't participated in a rated chess tournament, because our tournaments that we were organizing for ourselves there were not rated. We were just doing whatever we could, like competing. We do it in the knockout format. We did it in round robin format, and we came up with the winner, somebody to get the prize. That's it. As long as we all competed, we were happy with that. But for the first time when I got this side, we did that. We participated in rated tournaments, and I started winning games. And people were like, "Where did you learn how to play chess?" I'm like, no, I learned how to play chess in prom. They're like, "Wow, okay, we haven't heard of you." I'm like, "No, don't worry, man. You will get to know more of me as time goes." And yeah, people did. And we did that. And my players started making me famous. Because every time they were winning games and want to know who's their coach, and like, they came with that guy. I'm like, okay, Eddie, yeah, you the coach? Yes, I'm Eddie, the coach. That's why even my book is the coach. Everything from there on got branded as the coach. Oh, are you the coach? Yes, I'm the coach. You the coach that brought this guy here? Yeah, I'm the coach. You the coach that brought Banele Mango here? Yes, I'm the coach. So obviously the coach, and everything just happened from there on. I don't know. It just came in afterwards. So yeah, and so far a whole lot has happened. A whole lot of these players have accomplished so much. We've had players going overseas internationally to represent the country. Like we've had some players going into Sri Lanka to represent South Africa in the Commonwealth chess events. We've had players go play in the African Individuals Championships, Olympiads. I mean, if I speak about some of those players, the national, like, look at this, from the year 2014 up until I think even last year, every year from then on, I've always had players coming from my hands, my teachings, representing the province of Mpumalanga in the national chess event. So this has just taken its own shape. When I started telling the story, I didn't even know where it was going to go. But yes, so basically every year I'd have players winning the provincial chess championships in Mpumalanga. I'd have players coming up in the top 10 or top 5 of the provincial, of the national chess championship. And then obviously Banele Mango just bloomed from there, like out of the blue. Like obviously the culture was created, the competition was started, and everybody knew that, hey, we had to get better and improve and all that. And believe it or not, he was not the smartest of the players that I had, or the most brilliant of the kids, but he was more dedicated than all of them, and more disciplined than all of them, more hardworking than all of them. I think that's sometimes the one thing that separates. I think he was also an independent worker, independent thinker, and so forth, and that sort of set him apart. And that is why he came up there. And now Mpumalanga, even South Africa as a whole, has a person like him, has a FIDE master like Banele Mango, shining out there. And we've got other players, other kids coming up, or other kids that have learned to develop good character from chess, learn to find direction in their lives from chess. Other kids who have had their life shaped. I mean, there's a whole lot of things that could have been distracting, and a whole lot of things that they could have been spending their time doing in the community. In my one book, The Coach Life Adventures Through Chess, I do say this, that we give them chess so that they could at least develop a sense of self earlier on, sense of identity, and build characters, so that when this stage comes, obviously, and starts shaking their lives, when they reach puberty, when they reach whatever stages that is filled with so many distractions. At least they've got a self, they've got an identity, they've got a direction. They can be shaken a bit, yes, but I mean, as long as they know who they are, where they're going, what they're trying to do, they'll always come back. I don't remember exactly how the wording is, but you've read the book probably, if you're not new to this idea. So you remember what exactly is said in that book. But that's the idea. Give them chance. Let's build a strong self, a strong identity, a strong character for kids, a strong identity, a strong character for you, strong mental life. Because I mean, everything starts up here. You, your life, your identity of yourself, your image of yourself. Yeah, man, it's just there. Like, I spent the whole 20 minutes speaking without thinking, and now I'm starting to think, and I'm thinking, what else should I add to this? Yes, the one thing I should add is that I need to have a sip of wine, and I think I'm sitting too far from it. Don't worry, this is chess and wine. This means there has to be a glass of wine somewhere. But and obviously this is the late hour. We are filming at 10 or 11 in the evening. I'm not going to tell you the exact time. But yeah, I'm going to pause for a second and think of what to say next. Oh yes, I think it's time to wrap it up because I've been speaking for 20 minutes, and so maybe let's just wrap it up here. I'm still doing a lot in chess. I'm still teaching, coaching, and I'm still organizing, and I'm still working with people coming up with ideas of bringing development through chess, because the best form of development will come through chess. When you give people chess, you're giving them sports, you're giving them recreation, you're giving them education, you're giving them critical thinking, logical thinking, you're giving them strategic thinking, you're giving them so much. You are giving them an opportunity to live a full life, a fulfilled life. I'm honest though, it's really fulfilling. And I've been doing a whole lot of tournaments. You probably have seen from previous previous episodes. I think the first and the second as well. So I think we'll wrap it up. We'll stop here for tonight, and we'll take it on in the next episode. And it's been a good evening, and thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe, remember to like, remember to share, because I mean, it's only through this sharing that we can get to grow this. So my intention is basically to just grow chess and ensure that a whole lot of people have an interest in learning the game, and we spread the word. We let you know what's happening in the world of chess. You always have someone to go to when you've got questions about chess, when you want to know about chess. And I think everyone's lives will be improved far better if they had a bit of understanding of the game of chess. And this is it from me. My name is Eddie Bila, and I would say good evening, good night, peace out, and everything else. Now stop.